This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Bragg. Jill Valley is off tonight. A fairly quiet week weather-wise in western Montana, but that'll probably change. A new system coming through may bring more freezing rain and snow for the weekend, especially in the northern corner of the state. For more, let's toss it over to meteorologist Russ Thomas for a look at the first forecast. Russ?
Yeah, right. Really anything Interstate 90 and north, all areas, I should say, should definitely be on alert for what we've got at the potential of freezing rain here. In fact, even in the Bitterroot Valley, don't want to sell those guys short as well, because all these locations, again, a pretty good opportunity from really now all the way through 11 a.m. tomorrow morning to see some freezing rain. And again, what we know about freezing rain is this, is that it doesn't take much. In fact, very little to make conditions very tricky out there on the roads, sidewalks, bridges. Again, it's that rain falling through the very cold air and just sticking and icing up on impact. We'll have more details on that, plus, of course, the rest of your forecast for the weekend and the next week coming up.
And to keep an eye on the changing conditions in western Montana, here's the tool to have. Download our KPAX Storm Tracker weather app to get on-the-go forecast from Russ and the rest of the Storm Tracker weather team. It's free in the Google Play or in the Apple App Store.
Salute the Badge is brought to you by Montana Railing, supporting the Main Street of Montana for 30 years.
For Missoula firefighters, being prepared is not only part of the job, it's part of life. And that's especially true when it comes to the unusual rescue situations that can crop up in a mountain city like ours. But those trained experts tell me their job can be made less hazardous if people enjoying the mountains will do their best to be prepared, even more so in these winter months. Firefighters today are called upon to do much more than extinguish fires and help you with medical emergencies. That's very true here in Missoula, where they're often called to perform mountain and river rescues. And because each scenario presents its own challenges and hazards, preparation is key.
Absolutely, and that's what the training is for us today, for the fire department team members. We're being trained, we're given scenarios by every backcountry medicine, and we're the ones who are learning today. And part of that is our own gear, our own preparedness, and then dealing with the patient. So that adds a whole nother level when you have somebody else that you need to take care of.
Johnson says the biggest variable is changing weather conditions and bikers, hikers, and others not being ready for Montana's wild swings in temperature.
But that's where people get caught. You know, you head out on a day like today, you go up the Rattlesnake, you're just going to go mountain biking for a few hours. Weather changes, you get hurt, you have a mechanical failure, and now potentially you're spending the night out, which can lead to a rescue situation.
For the firefighters and for the well-prepared recreationists, the objectives are the same. Check and recheck gear, have adequate food and water, and most of all, tell someone about your plans and stick with them.
Let people know where you're going, and like you said, more often than not, these days we rely too much on technology, and in addition to my GPS, I carry an old-fashioned compass, you know. Batteries don't go dead on those.
For Johnson, making sure MFD crews are briefed and ready to go, dealing with a variety of situations that can develop, are what makes a career as a firefighter such an interesting job. But he hopes their example can be followed by people enjoying their time off, too.
So hopefully I'm prepared, we're prepared, and we're able to assess, treat, stabilize that patient, and have a positive outcome at the end of the day. And that's a big part of what the training is today for the Missoula Fire Department.
If you'd like to learn more about backcountry safety, you can contact the Missoula Fire Department anytime. We also have a link to area backcountry medicine on our website. A new book critical of President Donald Trump is selling like hotcakes, in part fueled by threats of a lawsuit to block it. President Trump is attacking the fire and fury, saying he didn't authorize access to the White House, never speaking the book's author, who claims he wrote lies and misrepresentations. Michael Wolf tells NBC's Today Show, though, the president is wrong, defending his depiction of the stormy atmosphere in the Trump administration. President Trump tried to stop the release of the book with cease and desist letters, only to have the publisher release the book sooner, as it rocketed to the #1 spot on Amazon today. The controversial book is also a bestseller here in Missoula, where copies are already selling out across town. Bookstore owners say their stock has largely been sold through, and that interest in Michael Wolf's look into Donald Trump's first year in the Oval Office is unusually high. MTN's Eric Clemens reports.
We crave gossip and, controversy, so that controversy is definitely selling books.
In fewer than 12 hours, the book Fire and Fury Inside the Trump White House had flown off the shelves of Missoula bookstores. It's also ruled the days of those bookstore employees.
We've started the day with phone calls asking if we had it, and we didn't have it right away in the morning, but we got it around 11 o'clock, and we've just been selling it all day.
Fact and Fiction, a locally owned Missoula bookstore, received 25 copies of the hotly anticipated book. a fair number higher than the typical order. Of that initial 25, only a handful remain at Fact and Fiction. In fact, this is just one of 6 left in the entire store. The book is selling incredibly fast, and management says if you haven't bought a copy yet, you may have to wait until a second printing.
I have more hopefully coming next week, but I don't know if that order is going to come through. The publisher is out of stock. So they're doing another print run already, and we're not sure exactly when those will be available.
Ponich Crouch says these types of books don't typically sell out at Fact and Fiction, at least not this quickly.
No. We don't typically have anything that does that unless it's something that gets a lot of hype somewhere, or sometimes with local books that are really popular, but it's not a common thing to sell that many that fast.
Other books critical of the Trump presidency have not received this level of success in Missoula. Not even former Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's recent book, What Happened, comes close. Eric Clements, MTN News, Missoula.
For those unable to buy a physical copy, of course, digital copies of Fire and Fury can be downloaded in the various ebook platforms. In other news tonight, the Confederate Salish and Kootenai Tribe's new chairman is a man familiar with the seat. Ron Trahan, who has served on the tribal council for 14 years, was selected for the chairman's post today. He comes back to the center chair after an earlier term 4 years ago, succeeding Vernon Finley. Trahan grew up in St. Ignatius, served in the U.S. Army, worked with Tribal Health, the Salish Kootenai Housing Authority, and Kicking Horse Job Corps before joining the council. The CSKT Tribal Council members serve 4-year terms every 2 years. 5 of them are up for re-election. A Missoula convenience store is hoping a reward will help lead to the return of its marketing mascot, a signature baby Dino taken during a stormy power outage last week. Managers of the Noon's Sinclair at the corner of East Broadway and Madison say the 3-foot-tall Sinclair Dino vanished sometime after midnight last Friday when the winter storm knocked out power to that part of Missoula, leaving the store in the dark. This dinosaur, which has been a symbol of Sinclair gas for the last half-century, as smaller than some of them. It's made of aluminum, but it's still Kelly green in color, measures about 6 feet from nose to tail. Missoula police are also investigating. 5 years ago, a larger Sinclair Dino statue, a fiberglass one, was stolen from the Noon's outlet at the Y west of Missoula. That dinosaur was recovered later, but thieves had already decapitated the marketing critter. Overall graduation and completion rates are up in Montana, while dropout rates are stagnant compared to last year, according to numbers released by the state superintendent's office. According to the report, graduation rates saw a slight increase of about 0.2%. That's a larger increase in Montana's completion rate, the number of students finishing school. That's up almost a full percentage point. But Montana's dropout rate is flat, unchanged at just over 2%. Superintendent Elsie Arnson says the gains may not seem like much, but they are pleased with the jumps and hope to build on that this year.
Part of my job then is going to be expanding that completion rate even more so, to acknowledge the fact that students do go out into the workforce, that they do accomplish school, and it might be in a different time frame because we all learn differently.
Arnson will be in Kalispell next week to talk to school leaders and students at the annual Montana Contractors Association meeting. While some people are getting home from work or eating dinner, some people are enjoying some runs under the lights at Big Mountain. Whitefish Mountain Resort hosting a Northern Division 14 and under and 16 and under slalom qualifying race through the weekend. Those races kicked off Friday night. They'll finish up on Sunday. The slalom course is set up just above Ed and Mully's Bar and Restaurant on the run, Hell Roaring, which comes off Chair 2. Chief of the race, Tim Hinderman, says there have been races on Big Mountain for a long time, but never one at night.
We've done league races starting back in the 70s and the town league and that kind of thing. But to do a full-on night race, USSA sanctioned with all of the bells and whistles is pretty fun. It's a neat deal. The kids love it.
There will be races tomorrow on the Ed's Run at Whitefish Mountain Resort. Hundreds of dancers from all over the world are descending on Missoula next week, including a young ballerina from Ecuador coming here for the first time on a scholarship.
I hope to take away every single correction and opportunity that they gave me here to Ecuador to do a better dancing and find a career.
She'll be performing 3 contemporary and classical ballet pieces next week, but it's more than just a competition. Ballet Beyond Borders is a humanitarian effort focusing on fusing dance and diplomacy. This event was previously called the Vienna International Ballet Experience. This year also marks the 20 years of Rocky Mountain Ballet Theater in Missoula, who sponsors the event.
So you don't need a skill set to come into the theater. I mean, and that's part of the Ballet Beyond Borders experience. It should touch you. You're going to have favorites. Maybe it's a body type, maybe it's the music, maybe it's the choreography, maybe it's all of the above. But you should be leaving with an experience that's going to stay with you.
All but 2 of the events are free thanks to sponsors. Tickets are available to hear the late Gene Kelly's wife discuss her husband's legendary career on Tuesday with a gala performance next Saturday. Details are on our website. Up next, Russ is back with the rest of our freezing forecast going into the weekend. And a cold snap in the east has frozen parts of the world's most popular attractions. That's coming up on KPAX.